Have you noticed that some people simply cannot stand your presence even without reason? They seem uncomfortable, react coldly, or even try to harm you in some way. If this happens frequently, it may be because you are chosen. And the chosen, by carrying something special within themselves, are constant targets of attacks. Being chosen does not mean having an easy life. On the contrary, the path is full of trials. You carry a unique light, a different energy, and this makes some people feel uncomfortable. They do not understand what you have, but they sense that there is something in you that challenges the world around them. The problem is that most people live on autopilot, following imposed rules without questioning. When someone like you emerges, someone authentic, with their own sparkle, it can provoke unexpected reactions. Some people feel inspired, while others feel threatened. And when someone feels threatened, they often choose to attack. But why exactly does this happen? What makes the chosen seen as a problem for others? There are three main reasons for this, and understanding each of them will help you see the attacks differently. More than that, it will give you tools to protect yourself and remain steadfast on your journey. If you have ever gone through moments when you felt that the world was against you for no apparent reason, this video will help you understand why. You are not alone. There is a reason for everything that happens, and your strength is greater than any challenge. So stay with me until the end, because you will discover truths that can change your way of seeing life. And before we continue, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any content made especially for the chosen. The first reason why the chosen are attacked is envy. But don't be mistaken. We are not just talking about envy for material possessions or visible achievements. What really bothers others is your essence, your authenticity, and your ability to be who you are without needing anyone's approval. This is something rare, and for this reason, it triggers unexpected reactions. Many people live trapped in a pattern they did not choose. They follow the rules imposed by the world, try to fit in, and are afraid of being rejected. When they encounter someone who does not have this fear, who moves with freedom, and who does not need to pretend to be someone else, it creates a shock. And for many, this shock turns into frustration. Frustration, when not resolved properly, turns into comparison. Human beings tend to compare themselves all the time, and when someone sees in you something they feel they do not have, it can awaken negative feelings. Some people look at you and see someone who allows themselves to be true, who is not chained to invisible constraints. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel anger, because your light reminds them of their own darkness. This feeling often arises without the person even realizing it. It is not something they choose to feel, but something that sprouts within them when they see someone shining naturally. It is easier to try to extinguish that light than to look at themselves and admit that something is missing. Because of this, many attacks begin quietly. Small comments, sideways glances, unexpected attitudes. Little by little, this can turn into something bigger: gossip, criticism, and even attempts to destabilize you. It's as if, unconsciously, these people try to diminish your energy to feel more comfortable with their own limitations. And the worst part? Often, this envy comes from close people. Friends, family members, co-workers. People who, in theory, should support you. But in practice, they often feel bothered by your growth. It is not always out of malice, but because your evolution exposes their limitations. Instead of looking at themselves and seeking to grow, they prefer to attack you. Have you noticed how some people try to minimize your achievements? They say it was luck, that it's not really like that maybe you are dreaming too big. These words carry something deeper, an attempt to make you doubt yourself. Because if you keep growing, You prove that they were wrong about their own lives. And do you know what else bothers them? Your peace. Your ability to be happy without needing the validation of others. For those who spend their lives depending on the opinions of others, seeing someone free can be unbearable. You become a constant reminder that it is possible to live differently, that it is possible to be true without fear. And some people are simply not prepared for that truth. But here is the essential point. No one can extinguish your light if you do not allow it. You do not need to hide. You do not need to diminish yourself. You do not need to change to fit into someone else's world. The chosen are called to illuminate paths, and that means not everyone will like your presence. And that's okay. The secret to dealing with envy is not to argue. It is not to try to prove anything to anyone. That will only drain you and steal your energy. The more you worry about the attacks, the more power you give to them. The true power is in following your journey, without allowing these negative energies to affect you. Envy only has strength if you give space for it. If you are shaken by malicious comments, if you start to question your own path because of other people's opinions, you are giving these people exactly what they want. Your shine bothers them, but your doubt feeds the attack. So what to do? Simply keep going. Continue being who you are. Continue growing. Continue following your purpose. Your role is not to convince anyone of anything. It is not to ask for permission to exist. It is not to explain yourself. Those who understand your journey walk by your side. Those who are bothered by your light need to resolve their own shadows. Envy is not your problem. It is a problem for those who feel it. You cannot carry that weight. You cannot let it paralyze you. You cannot allow the negative energies of others to become a blockage for your mission. Keep your focus on what really matters. Filter your energy. Stay away from people who drain your peace. Protect yourself. Strengthen your spirit. Because in the end, those who were born to shine never need to ask for permission to exist. The second reason why the chosen are attacked is fear. But it is not just any fear. It is not the kind of conscious fear that people recognize and admit. It is a subtle, silent fear that hides behind judgments, criticisms, and distancing. People cannot explain it, but they feel it, and that scares them. When you enter an environment, your presence carries something different. There is an energy, an invisible force that cannot be ignored. Some people feel good around you, while others feel uncomfortable. They notice that you are not like others, that you do not go with the flow, that you do not pretend to be something you are not. And this makes an impact. Human beings tend to fear the unknown. Anything that deviates from the norm, from what is expected, can create resistance. Many live on autopilot, repeating habits and beliefs without ever questioning them. When someone appears and shows a new way of seeing the world, a new vibration, it calls into question everything these people believe. In this case, fear is not about what you do, but about what you represent. Your authenticity is a challenge to those who have always followed rules without questioning. Your strength disturbs those who have never had the courage to break their own chains. You become a reminder that it is possible to live differently, and not everyone is ready to face that truth. This fear can manifest in various ways. Some people try to ridicule your ideas, making it seem like your thoughts are unrealistic or absurd. Others create barriers and challenges to demotivate you, as if they are trying to prove that you are not that special. There are also those who simply distance themselves without explanation. They do not know how to deal with your energy, so they choose distance. Have you noticed how some people seem determined to minimize what you say? If you share an idea or vision, they react with irony, as if you are exaggerating or being naive. This behavior has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the fear they feel of opening their own eyes. Changing requires effort. It demands courage. And not everyone is willing to question their own reality. For many, it is easier to attack the one who brings the change than to confront the fact that they are trapped in a life model they did not consciously choose. Fear turns into resistance, and resistance turns into attacks. If you have ever felt that some people withdraw without reason, that they seem bothered without you having done anything, know that it is not about you. It is about them. You do not need to change to be accepted. Those who are ready to grow will naturally come closer. Those who are not will distance themselves, and that is part of the journey of the chosen. Many prefer to live in the illusion of control. They believe they know how everything should be, follow patterns, and do not want anything to change. When someone arrives and shows a new possibility, it shakes their foundation. It is easier to call you strange, discredit you, or ignore you than to admit that perhaps there is something beyond what they have always known. But the truth is that you were not called to hide. Your presence, your vision, your energy have a purpose. Even if some do not understand now, your mission does not depend on their acceptance. You do not need anyone's validation to continue growing, to continue being who you are. If someone rejects you, criticizes you, or tries to diminish you, remember one thing: it is fear speaking for them. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of having to step out of their comfort zone. You do not have control over how others react to your presence, but you have control over how you choose to deal with it. The secret is not to let the fear of others become your own fear. Walk your path with firmness. Not everyone is ready to understand your energy now, but those who are will recognize your light. You do not need to hide to make others comfortable. Your mission is greater than any resistance. If there are people attacking you without reason, distancing themselves without explanation, or trying to make you give up, know that this only confirms something important. You are on the right path. Those who fear the light still live in darkness. And your presence is a reminder that one day they too will have to wake up. The third reason why the chosen are attacked is the resistance to awakening. Not everyone is ready to see beyond the illusion, to break the invisible chains that keep so many people trapped in a limited reality. And when a chosen one emerges, carrying a new vision and a different vibration, it generates discomfort, resistance, and even aggression. The chosen are like alarm clocks. They come and make people question what they have always taken as truth. But the truth is that not everyone wants to wake up. Some people prefer to remain in their comfort zone, repeating patterns and following external rules without ever reflecting on their true essence. For them, the unknown is frightening. When you appear and show that there is another way, that life does not have to be as they have always imagined, that can be disturbing. At first, some may be curious, but soon they feel fear, because accepting this new reality means having to reevaluate many beliefs, question truths that seemed absolute, and give up certainties that provided security. And when fear sets in, the natural defense for many people is to attack. Instead of reflecting, instead of allowing themselves to grow, they resist with all their might. They try to discredit you, label you as strange, different, or out of touch with reality. They call your spiritual experiences madness, your intuitions daydreams, not because they really believe that, but because it is easier to deny than to face their own transformation. Have you noticed how some people react aggressively when a spiritual topic is brought up, as if it were offensive to suggest that there is something beyond what they know? This kind of reaction does not come from logic, but from fear. because admitting that there is something deeper would mean having to change the way they perceive life, and change requires courage. Some attacks come disguised as jokes, ridicule, irony, attempts to make you doubt what you feel. Others are more direct, like heavy criticism and sudden withdrawal. All of this is part of the resistance to awakening. It is not about you, it is about their fear. Society has been built to keep people trapped in a pattern. From a young age, we are taught not to question, to follow rules, and to trust only what is visible. When someone appears and challenges this view, when someone suggests that there is something beyond, that person becomes a problem, a risk to the stability of those who are still not ready to see beyond. Many chosen ones have gone through moments of doubt because of this resistance. You may feel like no one understands you, that your experiences are dismissed as irrelevant, but this does not mean you are wrong. On the contrary, it means you are touching on truths that many people are still not prepared to accept. But remember something essential. Awakening cannot be forced. Everyone has their own timing. You can be a guide, you can inspire, you can open doors. But no one can walk through on behalf of another. Spiritual awakening is an internal and individual process. No matter how much you want to help, if someone is not ready, there is nothing you can do. And that is liberating, because it means you do not have to fight to convince anyone. Your only mission is to be who you are, to continue growing, and to allow those who are ready to approach at the right moment. You are not alone. There are many souls awakening at this moment, and each one of them, just like you, has faced resistance along the way. In the face of so many attacks, how can a chosen one protect themselves? How can you maintain your peace amid so many energies trying to pull you down? The answer lies not in reactivity, but in spiritual strength. The more you strengthen your essence, the less power these attacks have over you. Here are some essential forms of protection. Check mark. Filter your energy. Not every place is good for you, and not every company is healthy. Some people drain your peace, whether through words or actions. Learn to identify these environments and these people, and distance yourself whenever necessary. Do not be afraid to protect your energy. Stay aligned with your purpose. When you know who you are and what your mission is, attacks and criticism lose their power. They stop being a burden and become just background noise. The clearer your path is, the less you distract yourself with what doesn't matter. Create energetic barriers. Meditation, prayer, and spiritual connection are powerful tools. When you strengthen your mind and spirit, you create a field of protection around you. No negative energy can reach you if you are in balance with your essence. Avoid unnecessary conflicts. Not every attack deserves your response. Some people just want to provoke you, destabilize you, drag you down to a lower vibration. Choose your battles wisely. Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on discussions that lead nowhere. You cannot change how others see the world, but you can decide how you will react. When you learn to protect your light, nothing can extinguish it. Stay firm on your path, confident in your journey. What others do or say does not define who you are. Only your essence has that power. The chosen have not been called to hide, to conform, or to simply exist without a purpose. They are called to illuminate paths, awaken consciousness, and transform the world. And all transformation generates resistance. That is why so often you may feel out of place, misunderstood, or even attacked by those who do not understand your journey. Many feel alone, as if no one understands them. But this loneliness does not mean that you are wrong or that there is something wrong with you. It only means that you are on a different level of consciousness. Not everyone is ready to see beyond the illusion, and this causes some to react with fear, rejection, or disdain. The good news is that when a chosen one stands firm in their truth, they become a light for those who, deep down, are seeking a new way to live. You do not need to convince anyone of anything. You do not need to argue, prove, or insist that others accept you. Your mere existence is already proof that there is another way. The world is accustomed to people who follow rules, who do not question, who accept what is imposed. When someone comes along and shows that it is possible to live differently, it causes a shock. Some people feel inspired, but others react with resistance. Have you noticed that often those who attack you the most are precisely the ones who need to awaken the most? This happens because your energy forces them to see truths that they are not yet ready to accept. And instead of looking inward and reflecting, they prefer to attack you, as if your existence were the problem. If you feel that the attacks around you increase as you grow spiritually and strengthen yourself, this means you are on the right path. No chosen one goes unnoticed. You came to impact the world, and this requires that you remain firm, regardless of difficulties. You can inspire others simply by being who you are. You do not need to shout. You do not need to impose anything. Your own energy already influences the environment around you. You can create change by standing firm in your truth. No matter how many try to make you doubt, your strength lies in continuing to be you, regardless of others' opinions. You can overcome any obstacle because your mission is greater than any difficulty. The challenges that arise on your path are not meant to weaken you, but to make you even stronger. The world may try to test you in various ways. Some people will try to convince you that you are wrong, that your vision is exaggerated, or that your sensitivity makes no sense. But the truth is that your strength does not come from others' acceptance. Your strength comes from within. If you feel that no one understands you, that your journey seems lonely, remember this. There are many other chosen ones spread across the world, living experiences similar to yours. They also face challenges. They also feel the world's resistance, but they continue to follow their mission because they know that the truth always prevails. The attacks you face are merely a confirmation that you carry something special. Those who do not have their own shine do not bother. Those who do not bring change do not cause impact. The mere fact that you are a target of resistance already proves that your presence makes a difference.
Si has pasado por un profundo sufrimiento, si sientes que fuiste injusticiado sin motivo, recuerda que tu dolor no fue desperdiciado. Algo dentro de ti ha cambiado. Puede que no te des cuenta de inmediato, pero tu alma se ha fortalecido, tu intuición se ha agudizado y tu protección ha aumentado. Lo que parecía una carga en realidad te ha blindado. Personas que antes podían engañarte, ahora ya no pueden. Situaciones que podrían derribarte ahora no te afectan. No eres el mismo. El sufrimiento que intentó debilitante, en realidad, te ha hecho indestructible. Si este mensaje hizo sentido para ti, escribe en los comentarios: mi dolor me fortalece. Y recuerda, elegido, no estás solo. Suscríbete al canal, activa las notificaciones y comparte este mensaje con quien necesita escucharlo. Tu viaje apenas comienza. El dolor moldea a un elegido. Mientras muchos ven el sufrimiento como una carga, él entiende que cada lágrima es parte de su crecimiento. No es castigo, no es debilidad. Es un proceso necesario para pulir su alma, preparar su espíritu y fortalecerlo para lo que está por venir. Toda transformación exige un período de dolor. El oro solo se vuelve puro después de pasar por el fuego. El diamante solo gana su brillo después de ser presionado. El elegido también pasa por pruebas que, a primera vista, parecen crueles, pero en el fondo son oportunidades de evolución. Cada traición que sufrió, cada injusticia que enfrentó, cada vez que se sintió solo, Nada de esto fue por casualidad. Todo esto estaba construyendo algo dentro de ti. Al principio parecía solo dolor, pero después te das cuenta de que has cambiado. Aquello que antes te lastimaba ya no tiene el mismo efecto.
If there is one thing that the chosen need to understand, it is that they have not been called to hide or adapt to the world. They have been called to transform it. This means that the path will not always be easy, but victory is already guaranteed for those who remain true to their essence. If this message resonated with you, share in the comments and continue seeking your spiritual evolution. You are stronger than you think.